Welcome back to Naughty Love Movement. It's your girl, Nikki. And today I'm bringing opportunities for advertisement on my channel. If anyone is interested, they can email us at naughtylove2020 at gmail.com. Our prices are affordable and reasonable. And please reach out to us. We can start our videos with any commercials that you would like us to advertise. I look forward to hearing from you. I'm out. One. Good morning. Welcome back to my channel, Naughty Love Movement. It's your host, Nikki, bring you the latest and trending topics. And I vlog my life. All right, we're going to give people a chance to load up in the room. I'm so mad because my Bluetooth speaker just died on me. I'm so mad. Yes, as you guys are loading up, please make sure you hit the like button. Please hit the like button. That gets us in the algorithm. Share my content. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Leave comments. And of course, donate to the channel. All these things help the channel to grow. I'm going to drop the intro and I'll be right back. Good morning, Sandra. Thank you for joining. I think I saw Kim Delivers backstage. Thank y'all for joining. So Tamar's tour manager has spoken out, and the reason why he spoke out is because the lies that Krishan is trying to spin. I wish everyone would realize this girl is a liar. Period. She's a liar. She doesn't like to be held accountable, and she trying to blue face us. All right, I'm gonna jump right into it. We in the car this morning, and my Bluetooth keep dying, y'all. So I'm so sorry. I hope it's loud enough for y'all. Here we go. I hate that I even have to do this. Let me know if y'all can hear. But I'm gonna tell because I'm gonna tell the truth and what the truth is. So I'm gonna give y'all a second to roll through real quick. Let me know if y'all can hear it. Larry, cut it. My problem is this. My problem is this. I was in the room. I was next to James. It was me, James, David, Mooney, Tamar in that room. I want to address the assault. I want to address the assault. That's what I want to address right now, because that is what is at question. And what is at question is the assault. And it breaks my heart that we even have to go this route and even have to go back and forth on social media. For those that don't know, I am the tour manager for Tamar Braxton, the Love and War Tour. Good morning, Miss Brenda. What I'm going to address is the assault. We were in the room. At the end of the show, Krishan walked up to Tamar. Troy brought her out a cake. Tamar put her hands in the cake. She had a right hand full of cake and some cake in her mouth. And Krishan came out and was like, "Where you going, sis? Gotta go on stage." And I'm looking like, huh? Like, what's happening? And Tamar like, the show is over. What do you mean? She said, "I'm going to go on stage." And she's like, huh? You ain't been out? You haven't went out there already? Because she was supposed to go out during the twerk session. She
hadn't been out. Krishan hadn't been out. So I was like, come on, ladies, let's just take this in the dressing room. So we went in the dressing room. And in the dressing room, it was me, Tamar, and Krishan. Tamar was trying to figure out why didn't Krishan go out during the twerk session? And she's looking at me, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, Krishan, I don't know why she didn't go out. So Krishan breaks down and starts crying. And I felt bad, and the Holy Ghost in me, because I carry it everywhere with me, I began to give her a hug and everything like that, because I like Krishan. I like her. And, and I was like, I don't want to see nobody with their feelings hurt, or I don't want nobody feeling some sort of way, because there was a big line of miscommunication that took place. So I began to try to comfort her and hug her and be like, no, don't cry, because it's not that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was trying to, I don't want you to feel no sort of way. And this was just in the dressing room. And this was me, Krishan, and Tamar at the time. As the time went on, Krishan was explaining that this happens to her all the time, and she felt some sort of way because she felt embarrassed. She felt embarrassed, and she felt like, this is just like, that shouldn't happen to her, because, she was just prepared to go out during the twerk session, and that time had come and she didn't go out. So Tamar is still asking, like, what happened? What happened? Why didn't she go out? And I'm like, I'm trying to figure out what happened too. So David and Mooney come in. They both do makeup. And we're all at this point talking about what happened. Tamar is saying, Mooney, what happened? Mooney was saying that Krishan was not on the side of the stage when it was time for the twerk part. Mooney is a choreographer, and he also does makeup. Mooney was saying Krishan was not on the side of the stage. So it's like, well, what happened? Well, who was there? Who can, like, what? Everybody's screaming, what happened? What happened? At this point, Krishan is like, yes, I was on the side of the stage. I was there. And I was like, okay, and I'm trying to calm everybody down. Just let's do this peaceful conversation, because Krishan is upset. She's very upset. And I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, okay, let's calm down. Like, everybody, let's talk this thing out or whatever. And then a few more talking. And then James comes in the room. So at this point, it's me, Krishan, David, Mooney, Tamar, James. James comes in the room and notices that Krishan is upset. By the mirror, Krishan is on the right-hand side. James is right next to her. He was consoling her. And I was literally right next to James. And Tamar asking James, well, what happened? Why didn't Krishan go out there during the twerk session? And James said, we was looking for her on the side of the stage, and she was not on the side of the stage. And Krishan got very upset. She was like, I was on the side of the stage. I was there. Where else would I go, man? You lying. Like, that's cap. I was on the side of the stage. Like, I was there on the side of the stage. And James said, no, you wasn't. We caught you there. Krishan said, say I wasn't there one more time. Say I wasn't there on the side of the stage one more time. James was like, I'm telling you, we was calling you, and you pop, 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 pop. I'm like, oh, shit. Literally happened just like that. And here I am, like, this girl just hit this boy a couple of times with them big ass rings on her finger. And I'm just like, no, this is not happening. This is not happening. This is not happening.
It happened. Third person coming out with an account that she laid hands on James. So her and DJ Sky could try to spin this narrative and lie. Let me tell you something about DJ Sky. It's all good right now until she pop off on you. Then what's going to happen? You understand? Her going live yesterday, she put her foot in her mouth. And she incriminated herself, if you ask me. All right? But 3 people can't be lying, Krishan. And I wish the world would understand. She's a liar. She lied. And she's trying to gaslight her way through this. Right now, she on the run. That's why she going to Atlanta. But if I was you, Krishan, I would stay off live and stop telling people where you going. Period. Period. But she going to jail. She going to jail. Let's listen to more.
I get Krishan to the other side of the room. At this point, James' face is leaking with blood. She going off saying, man, that's cap, da 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 da. Everybody is shocked. And I mean shocked because, mind you, I like Krishan. I'm still at this moment trying to de-escalate everything. Like, I don't want this to go left. Like, this is crazy. This is all craziness. And I'm like, Krishan, you gotta calm down. Everybody, you gotta calm down. Like this, it's a lot of yelling. At this point, Mooney and James, get her ass out of here. Da, 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 da. You know, I'm like, okay, everybody calm down. I got Krishan on my right hand side. Now she's at the back. The door is right there. I'm blocking Krishan on here because at this point she don't go. She like, what's up? Like her defense is all the way up now, and people trying to get in the door, and I'm stopping people from coming in the door. Troy was one of the people that I stopped from coming in the door, and I'm like, okay, y'all, we gotta talk this out. We cannot. This is crazy. Tamar walks.
Okay, so Troy is the guy that came out first, Mr. Davis. All right, so he was not in the room. So that's the only truth she stole. She said, I don't know him. All right, because he wasn't in the room.
Over to Krishan. That is like, she said, that is like my blood brother. You cannot just go hitting my blood brother in his face. What is wrong with you? What's happening? All of this is going on. Everybody's emotions are on 100. And then Krishan, I got Krishan out of the room when Bandcamp came in the room. Bandcamp came in the room, got Krishan out of the room, and that was that. I walked out of the room and I called the police. So in the video she just made is,
so all that, she capping right now. She capping. Where the police? This and that. They coming for your behind, child. You gonna learn today. Keep your hands to yourself. Speaker does not work. You gonna learn today, child.
why wasn't the police there? Why wasn't this there? And actually, to tell the truth, there were 28 security guards in that building that day from the Novo security team. 28. I went to the head of security at Novo and I asked them, I said, I need somebody to get up here right now. Somebody has just been assaulted. They asked me questions. They said, who? I said, James. I said, can you call the police? You know what Novo told me? Novo said they cannot call the police. I had to call the police. I went and called 911. You can call 911 on public records. You can call 911. You can check the records. Right after immediately happened, I called 911. It took the police over 2 hours to get to the Novo. I was not leaving until the police came. I was not leaving until the police came. It took the police over 2 hours to get. It took them over 2 hours to get to the Novo. The police did come. A police report was reported. This whole incident is crazy. And then for everybody to jump online to say something about Tamar is wild. Everybody say James is lying. It's wild. Nobody had nothing against Krishan. I love Krishan. I love the ratchetness. I love the rowdiness. I love watching her on Zeus. I love her with the baddies east, west, north.
Hold on, y'all. Can I get 2 hash browns and a sweet and spicy jelly? You don't have no more? I just need ketchup.
And spicy jelly. Good
Good morning, y'all.
morning, Naughty.
Hey, Robin. Hey, Kim.
Naughty, what's a sweet and spicy jelly?
Oh, McDonald's, they had this sweet and spicy jelly, but it's all done now. It was just for a season.
Okay.
I liked it with my hash brown. You know, dipping sauce.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Hey,
Good
Natty.
morning, ladies.
Good morning.
All right, so Tamar's tour manager has spoken. The police were called, so we cannot spin that narrative anymore. And what people need to understand about California law is different. All right, you have ketchup. Thank you. Once the report is filed, then there's an investigation, and then that's when the charges are brought. All right, and right now she on the run. All right, she gonna make herself as busy as possible. So it's kind of like a catch me if you can situation. But three people have come out and said pretty much the same things. So to question and age shame people talking about, oh, they need my clout. Tamar does not need clout off of Krishan. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Go ahead, Robin. You haven't been here in a long time. Thank you for joining the panel.
It's been a minute, but let me just go back and say thank you because I've been putting my little turban thing that you sent me on my head because I've been cold. It has worked for me for days recently. So thanks
Ah,
again,
Naughty love
sweetheart.
head wraps. Get your head wraps.
Get it, get it. So here's the reason I called in. I'm not going to use my curse words. So I'm like, what the heck is going on with this whole thing? Because I keep hearing that there was an assault, there was something that happened, but it's just like something happened, but nothing happened after that. I am annoyed because I feel like this is something that is just hanging in the abyss. We understand that there seems to have been an assault on somebody, someplace, by somebody, but nothing seems to be happening. And I'm actually just personally annoyed that I keep like coming across this story and it just seems to be like I was like, is it a hoax? Is it real? Is it something for attention? Where are we going with this?
I believe it's real. You have a victim, and then you have three people that have come out and said that Krishan did this.
Yes, and this is from you. It's the first time I heard that it happened in California.
Yes, it was
But
Tamar's California show.
so I guess for me, the big question is it seems to be taking such a long time for anything to happen except us hearing that something happened.
Exactly, but I don't think James is the type of character James is. I don't think he would lie. This man is going to the dentist. He does not want to show his face, which
Mm-mm.
I don't blame him. I wouldn't want that plastered all over the internet.
Right.
And so I'm inclined to believe because she keeps dropping this narrative. Where's the video footage? Where's the video footage? Not everybody is inclined to pull out their phone all the time. Okay, and you do not need video to prosecute someone. What you
Absolutely
need
not.
is a victim, a police report, and a hospital report.
And a couple of witnesses. And here's the other thing. How she's very young, correct?
23.
Yeah, she needs somebody. She needs somebody to take care of her because she seems so out of control. And again, remember, Nadi, I'm on the older side of your people because
Mm-hmm.
come January, I'm hitting the big 6-0. So
Ah,
I just don't. You know what it is for me? I'm just annoyed. I am annoyed by not only just this story, but when you take this person and how she's come to be prominent in society or in the local scene, how she is revered and looked at. But again, I don't even do the Mona Scott Young of it all things. But isn't this the chick who got her teeth knocked out and had the tattoo of her boyfriend, but had the baby dangling at the Walmart? What in the
yep.
actual hell? And can't somebody take her and, as they used to say in the old days, about to shake the shit out of her and just set her straight? Or can she not be set? I'm tired of stupid and craziness.
Yes,
I'm an
and that's what. And people need to understand. Krishan slept her way into the industry. Let's be clear. All right, she didn't get in on any good merit. She slept her way into the industry. She has a reputation for fighting people and not really squaring up. She sneaks people. That's her history. That's her
Oh.
reputation. All right. She know better. This is a trained athlete that made it to college.
Oh,
Okay.
wait. You said trained athlete?
She's a trained athlete. She won the Ultimate Warrior Challenge. Before Blue Girls Club, where she started in reality TV, she was a track star. She was a college student. And she went on Ultimate Warrior and won.
Oh, this is all news to me.
Exactly. And she playing in our faces. And she said on Jason Lee couch that she liked to play stupid because stupid made her rich.
Oh, okay.
All right. So this is someone that needs to be held accountable finally. You cannot just assault. You can't go around assaulting people. That may have been an environment with Zeus Network, but in real life, that's against the law, honey. You're going to learn to keep your hands to yourself. And
Wow.
just because you don't have your way, and I'm going to tell you what her biggest problem is, her ego. The ego and her fame has gotten to her head. And yes, she has older sisters that try to reason and rationalize with her. She hard-headed. She think because she got all this money, she don't have to listen. You just getting your foot in the door. And you done messed up. Because the Braxton name is a household name. They have a lot of connections. You know how many doors the Braxtons could have opened for that girl and
Mm.
changed the path of her career? And you know it's bad because Babyface was co-signing her and now he has unfollowed her. She's blackballed. Trust me. You don't make...
Wow.
Yes, a lot has happened. I've been paying attention to the story. This girl likes to play in our face, and she's trying to bring Blueface in the mix. Blueface has nothing to do with this situation. Now she talking about, oh, Blueface a deadbeat. But you open up your legs to him every chance you get. He's such a deadbeat.
Wow.
Blueface don't
Okay.
have nothing to do with this one. Good
Well,
morning,
the
Kim.
thing about it is though too that the girl is dealt with trauma. Have you ever noticed it? I know you're talking about the money, but have you ever noticed people who have struggled and were on their knuckles and how they deal with money? That's different for per people. That's different from people who have never had who have had money or have even if they didn't have money, but things were comfortable for them. That's another reason. And then she doesn't. She was I don't want to label anybody because I really don't believe him, but she was basically born in the gutter. Okay,
Mm.
the way her parents were being drug addicts and all the rest of how daddy used to pull her mom out and beat her tied to a tree, how they had the M going on and all the rest of that stuff in the family. So she is traumatized and she brings with all of that trauma and chaos she had in her life. That's all she's used to. So now I'm not giving her a pass, but I'm just saying that's what you got. That's why I can't understand why Tamar will reach out. I don't care if she came from B More or not. There's a lot of people that I know I would love to be able to help, but I know I can't help them for a
Mm.
couple of reasons. I know who they are. And then sometimes it's like if you got a kid and everything that you want to be able to help. Oh, you see how they raised up and this, that, and the other. Well, even if you do help them, they got to go back home and get everything you don't told or showed them undone when they go back home because that's just not the family and the environment that they come from. Okay. So I don't understand why Tamar even saddled up with it now. So after that video that you just showed, then Krishan came back on and she started talking about that along with Tommy. Tommy jumped in on it too. Okay. So then Tommy jumped in on it and then she talked about the tour manager, the guy who said that he did, the one who spoke out initially, the one
Right.
who Tamar unfollowed, which I don't even understand that. Now you want to give in Tamar's initial statement, she gives Krishan Grace, although she was the maniac, okay, but you unfollow the guy who got you, who pulled all your tour together. I don't understand how your loyalty can be divided like that and in the way you express it. Okay. But nonetheless, Tommy and them get on there and they call Tamar Muppet and blah blah blah. So now Tamar comes back and she responds. Now she responded in true Tamar fashion. All right. So my thing is that Tamar, why you didn't bring that in the beginning? Okay, if that was the case, you should have just let that little chick have it because you can't play nice with a snake because they always gonna bite you because they're a
Yep.
snake. Okay, and all that girl know is the gutter. That's all she know how to do is fight and all the rest of that and all the rest of that stuff.
Mm,
So I don't
mm,
understand that. Tamar, and then that's the other thing. When you are of a certain echelon, like, because you say that, well, the Braxtons, they can open doors, you don't know who they are. Yeah, you are absolutely right. So why are you messing with trash, Tamar? You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Now I'm gonna tell you something. Now, this is just a side note. I know a lot of people didn't like her, Jeremy and all the rest of that, but he said about all of that drama and negativity. He right as it relates to Tamar because that's all she seemed to want to attract. Okay, you put
Mm-hmm.
yourselves in there. Now I know her sister Tony has said it many times that she don't like to be bothered with all that drama and mess and negativity and mess with her lupus. So that was the night that she performed on that show. They said how Krishan got the microphone because they want to know how did she get the microphone. After Tony's performance, Tony tied the microphone up on something, and then Krishan went out there and picked up her microphone after her thing, and that's what she did. So I'm saying to myself, I know Tony was probably like, and then now Tamar's talking about canceling the rest of the tour. That's talk. I don't know if it's talk or true, but it's alleged. But if that's the case, then so you're gonna let this girl mess up your show. You also might make it where your sister say, I don't want to be bothered with this, and Tony Braxton is a draw. Not saying that Tamar isn't, but like even Tamar called her the living legend. Okay, because
Mm-hmm.
she is. So you put a lot at stake just to help this little guttural girl. Okay, that don't even make no sense.
She a gutter rat.
She
Very
is.
good points. Very good points. But I feel like Krishan feel like she is invincible, and she wanna have her way, whether you like it. That's her attitude.
Well, I said that when we first started talking about Christian in the very beginning. I remember, and Regina was like, "Oh, Kim, I would never want that to happen to her, or I wouldn't want to say that because I said, God gonna have to knock her down and put her on her back.
You said that.
He gonna take her everywhere, and only place she gonna be able to do is look up. Everything gonna be taken away from her. The only thing that she gonna be able to do is look up to see her help, and that's God, okay? And that's
mm.
what it's gonna take for her. She's gonna have to be knocked all the way down. She's gonna have to have her legs cut from up under her. All right.
She gonna need to lose her following, but unfortunately, it's a bunch of ignorant Christians that follow her.
Oh yeah,
They
because I've
all
been
just
seeing
as
the
ignorant.
comments.
Tommy ain't doing nothing but clout chasing off of her. She a gutter snipe too.
Well, that's the other thing. Tommy might end up okay, so Tommy, I don't know how she got footage of a P, a P video with the
Mm.
guy that initially came on where he
No,
was
it's
servicing.
the guy that owned Neighborhood Talk.
Oh, it's the guy in the own neighborhood talk.
Uh huh.
Okay. So it's him. So she put his stuff. They said that he getting ready to report her because you can't just be doing stuff like that. You know what I mean? Not only report her, but actually sue her for that.
Exactly. That's revenge P.
Mm-hmm.
That's revenge P. But she should have mind the business that paid her. She ain't even had nothing to do with the situation. You wasn't even here. But
No.
Krishan gonna latch on to whoever gonna co-sign her story. Cause let me
Mm-hmm.
tell you something. That DJ Sky that's with her lying, wait till she pop off on you. And let's see if you sing the same tune. Cause it's
Mm-hmm.
bound to happen.
Oh yeah, because she don't have no loyalty to nobody.
She don't.
But I'm gonna tell you something. Um, I know liquor and marijuana does something to some people, but she acts so unhinged. I think that she's got to be there's got to be another substance involved in there, or
Whew.
either she's one of these manic depressive bipolar people where yeah, she got a chemical imbalance. Okay, But it's more than just that, because she's just off the hook. I mean, it ain't no rhyme or reason. And she acts like an animal, okay? So you are right. She gonna go off on that girl because she's unhinged.
Absolutely. And y'all keep coddling her bad behavior. This is a girl that has been drinking and smoking through her whole pregnancy. And I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. She don't love that baby. She love Blueface more than that baby. That baby is a prop. And she said it in her live yesterday. Oh, y'all not going to see me or Junior. We don't care. We don't care. Please. We don't want to see you this much.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw Essence in the comments. She said she is not a celebrity. She is infamous, not famous. There's a difference.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
There is a difference. So she gonna have to pay the piper. But right now, what she gonna do is busy herself up with all these different shows and try to promote the song that she does not own. Okay, she does not own that song. Lil Mabu owns the song. The Clear
Mm.
Boy. Okay. You got a total of 3 songs, girl. You just getting in the door. Like she just messed up. No, I'm telling
Mm-hmm.
you, people are not gonna want to work with her. She has now devalued herself to the point where she only can have these small hood rat venues. Okay.
Dang.
Um, Only the ratchet is gonna support her. And eventually those ratchet people grow up. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Y'all got any more thoughts on this girl before I move on to Royce?
Move
I
on to Rose.
I do have
Oh,
one thing
sorry.
to say.
Go
Mm-hmm.
ahead.
Thank you, Nadi. Cause I have been like trying to figure out where do I go to get this information. Cause some things I block out. But I'm like, oh, my Nadi gonna tell me what's going on. Cause I don't do the baddies, I don't do the love and hip hops. So thank you for putting me up and on to the information.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I just don't like the way this girl is trying to gaslight the world into and when people like I love Christian. I don't love her. I don't know her. I want her to win, but I can't want it more than she wanted for herself. And that's my logical mind. You understand? In a
Mm.
heartbeat, as soon as she get what she want, it's F her fans, F the world. I got money. I'm rich. All right, let's see where that ego gets you. Hold on, we got another guest. Hey,
Hi.
Essence.
Good morning.
Good morning. You
Good
have some
morning.
thoughts on this?
No, girl, she if she can return to sender.
Ah,
That's beautiful.
that is a good way of putting it,
Yeah,
Essence.
no, she got it. I
But
what is
people are
it?
delusional. People are delusional about this girl, and it's ridiculous.
Absolutely, and sexy red. She ain't the only one. They're delusional about sexy red too, but that's another topic for another time. All of these viral turn rapper turn
Ratchet.
Instagram celebrities or Insta celebrities gotta go.
Mm-hmm.
They
Mm,
do. And then you know what? I got the reason why I look at this stuff, I got daughters, a daughter
mhm,
Christian
mhm.
age. And I don't want her looking up to this. But even my 18-year-old was like, Mom, I'm sick of Christian. She's
As
like,
she
I'm
should
Mm-hmm.
sick
be.
of her. And she's like, why don't she just go take care of her baby?
Right, and here's the thing about it, and I think I'm gonna make a video too called like, the rise of like the glorification of ratchet baby mama culture, because
Mm.
at first it was just baby mama culture. You had Ari Fletcher, you had Jada Shavis, you had like the rapper baby mama culture for the last like 5 years, right? But now we moving into like the ratchet mother, not even baby mother, just ratchet mother culture, and that's a whole nother different type of evil.
Well,
Like,
dude, I'm gonna tell you, Christian is the result of trying to have a baby. I call it the keep a nigga baby. I'm saying, excuse my French, okay?
you ain't lying.
She had that baby thinking she was going to pull blue in. There's gonna be a family, but he been telling you he don't want you. He been telling you he ain't want that baby. He been dragging your behind across the internet. Then he dragged your baby, and then you still pop open your legs.
And
I don't
then
blame Blueface no more. It's her. It's
it's so
her because she thinks she gonna force him to do what she want to do,
that is so funny.
and he don't care about her.
And the thing about it is people always say like, oh, representation matters, but you're representing all the women in America who have one or two or multiple kids without a father in the home that feel like they don't, not to say they need to be ashamed, but they don't feel as they're not like self-evaluating the way that they should, because now there's representation. There's Sexy Ray who's pregnant, running amok out here in these streets, and then you have Krishan who got her baby hanging out the carrier the way she had it, have the baby in the music video at the gas station. Like, it's the representation of a broken home is becoming more widespread, and I just really feel like we need to start canceling some people before it get out of hand. And then I saw a video the other day of a preschool teacher. Preschool, I'm talking 4 or 5 year olds, and she lined them up and she said, "Tell me what your favorite song is." You know how many of those little girls said ski?
Disgusting. Why is your kid even listening to this music?
And it's their favorite song though. That she said, "What's your favorite song?" Let's say her name is Mariah. She was like, "If you see me and you trying to see," I'm like, "Girl,
Oh my god! But also on this channel, we talk about
society is going downhill."
that's it. But we also talk about how Hollywood, the music industry, coddles the abusive behaviors men
Mm.
towards women. I mean, it's all over the place. I'm not even going to just you see it toward women towards men, but men with their Hollywood stature and their money, they'll use their money to manipulate the court system, and it is allowed. And Royce was a victim of that. She's been trying to speak on this for years. She
Mm-hmm.
has been gagged and everything else. Well, we had part two of Carlos King's interview
Oh
that I
yeah.
wanted to get into with you guys. I'm gonna play it, and then we're gonna make our commentary on it. Okay? Here we go. If you know me, then you know I am not shy about talking about my period. I know I can do anything. I feel like no matter how I say it or how I do it, whatever tactic I take, it still comes across like I did it the wrong way. People are like, what we supposed to do with this information? People like to say that, or why is this on the internet? Take it to the court. Y'all don't think I've done that? I'm an ant fighting an elephant.
Hey, Raindrops, before we get into this episode, I want to invite you to join my community, my YouTube community, honey, of subscribers. So please make sure to subscribe to this channel. I love when you
Raindrops.
comment on my posts and my videos about all of my stars hopping on Reality King to share their lives. I cannot thank y'all enough. Make sure to like and subscribe to this channel. It was just really, really hard. I was told I couldn't put his name on the baby registry. I was told that you couldn't put Dwight Howard's name on the baby? I couldn't put father's name. I couldn't put the last name on my baby shower invitations. They were asking me to sign all this stuff, all these NDAs, and I was like, no. His agent was offering to pay me to say that Merlin wasn't his. I have all, and remember, y'all seen my bag with all the phones and stuff in it? It's the same when it comes to email. Like, I keep everything. I have all those phones because I just wanted to have, I guess, a moment where even if I wasn't here anymore, if people found it and they were able to get into them, that they would see everything. Because I never thought that I would get a chance to really tell my story, because I
She talking about her family essence because she was just silent, so she kept all her records.
mean, y'all have seen everything I've gone through throughout all these years, even with, this injunction thing. And people ask me, like, don't you have a gag order? It's an injunction. And I was lied to about what it was. I was told it's just saying that you won't talk bad about him on the show. I said, well, I don't have a desire to do that anyway, because I was being told that the show was going to just show, positive stuff like our jobs and stuff. So I didn't have an issue with that. So I signed it.
So the Royce people gave you this document.
They gave it to my attorney.
He didn't read it?
He did. He had to read it. He had to have read it. He claims it wasn't the same thing.
But you thought you were signing a document just saying, do not talk about Dwight Howard. But instead, unfortunately, you sign a document that people call a gag order, where is it in perpetuity that you can't talk about him forever?
It basically is supposed to be like, it's so bad where it's like, if I'm even in the vicinity of someone talking about him, I'm supposed to leave. It's that bad. But I have a great attorney now. And it's like, we're definitely like going through all the appeals and stuff, because clearly he's already in violation of it all, because he posts Braylon. He talks about Braylon. He's had Braylon on TV. So, it's like, no,
It's the double standard for me. That's how it always go. You want to gag the girl because she probably know all his secrets. All right, she gonna address all of that in this interview. Here we go.
Yeah, it's null and void at this point. And I think that's also why he's so scared of me talking now, because I was so scared for so long. I would say little things, just to kind of test the air. And then it was always still like coming back on me, because he was still baby Jesus. It's the man who wanted to put the cross on the logo. You know what I mean? Like, how dare she say anything bad about him?
This is what men in the industry do all the time. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Michelle GM. Good morning, Taurus. I think I saw. Good morning, Deborah C. This is what a lot of men in the industry do. This is what Jay-Z has done with the court system as well. His son. He has an alleged son out there. They use their money to manipulate court systems. They use their money to draw up gag orders to keep you silent. And it is coddled, and they let it happen. The judges, they'll go to the highest bidder. What are your thoughts so far while this is on commercial? Anybody?
You know what? For me, I remember when she was on the Basketball Wives. My big question really goes before that. I really am so interested in the origin of their story, how they got together, what it was about, and how they went from being there to her having the injunction, the gag order, all these things.
She explained a lot of that, Robin, in the part 1 interview. We did that last week.
Okay, I'll watch it.
Mm-hmm,
I'll watch it.
She explained the back. Actually, that's where part 1 kind of ended up, where she was talking about how they met, how they got together, how he started to change when she got to Basketball Wives and things like that.
Okay, I'll watch it.
I also, what interests me. Oh, you're not on mute, girl.
Kim, mute. Let me see if I can mute her. I think she's on now. Go ahead.
Okay, I've been mid-conversation. I'm like, oh my God, they can hear me. I think it's interesting that even though her attorney read the document, it's funny that the document went through the guise of Basketball Wives. That's what interests me. Because she said that you know, to be on the show, she had to sign a document, but the document was in, the like basically on the behalf of Dwight Howard in his likeness.
Mm.
That's a little bit shady to me.
Well, he's controlling like that. You'll hear.
But
He's
I just feel
controlling
like
like
I
that.
just think that that's a little bit shady though. Like don't go through my employer to get me to sign a personalized document.
Well, why was
If
he
that
able to
was the
do
case.
that?
That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it isn't that called entrapment? I don't know.
Yeah, but you also need to understand. Shawnee O'Neal was heading this project up, right? Shaq and Dwight Howard did not get along, and I think that's the reason. That was his motive behind gagging Reese.
Mm.
Ultimately,
Well, can you answer me this, Nadi? When did Royce come in? She didn't come in on the first season, did she?
yeah, she was in the initial season.
Oh, she came in on the first season.
Yep,
Okay.
Okay,
yep.
it's not entrapment because ain't nobody in law enforcement. But it is something. Coercion, I don't know. Something ain't right about her signing that document. I don't feel like she would have signed it if it didn't have anything to do with basketball wives. I don't
Exactly,
Yeah.
and like she explained, she didn't have a problem not talking about him because the show was supposed to highlight their different businesses and things like that. But
Hmm.
I don't think her lawyers read through it properly. You understand?
Mm. Where she get her lawyers from? That's the better question. Does
Exact.
was her okay?
No, no. Good point, Robin. Good point. Because your
And
lawyer's supposed to
did
act on your best interest.
yeah, and then some of them do if they act on their own best interest too, if they feel like it's a case that they can't beat. So is that the other thing too?
Exactly. Exactly.
Because I find it hard to find that, lawyers charge for everything, even a phone call or a pencil. So
Hmm.
I find it hard they wouldn't take your case if they didn't think they had a case.
And can you rewind back to the portion where she really quick where she just said that whole statement about um that it kind of went through her, like the basketball wives part of it. I just want to hear that one more time.
All right, hold on. It's a commercial that came on. 1 second.
Because that's weird to me a little bit. Let
But
me
you
find out.
signing a document just saying, do not talk about Dwight Howard. But
That
instead,
part.
unfortunately, you
Hmm.
sign a document that people call a gag order, where is it in perpetuity that you can't talk about him forever?
It basically is supposed to be like,
Oh, a little bit
you
before
know,
that.
that
A little before
like
that.
if I'm even in the vicinity of some able to get into them, that they would see everything.
Yeah, this
Because
is
I
good.
never thought that I would get a chance to really tell my story because I mean, y'all have seen everything I've gone through throughout all these years, even with, this injunction thing. And people ask me, like, don't you have a gag order? It's an injunction. And I was on the show. I said, well, I don't have a desire to do that anyway because I was being told that the show was going to just show, positive stuff like our jobs and stuff. So I didn't have an issue with that. So I signed it.
So the white people
Okay, that was it.
use
Thank you so
this
much.
document.
They gave it to my attorney.
So she had to sign that paper to get on
Oh,
Basketball Wives, but the
Yeah.
paper,
hysterical.
but the paper had a bunch of different hidden clauses in it.
Sounded
Exactly.
That's probably how they're getting all of the set. In my opinion, and I'm not alleging this. I'm just um kind of analyzing the situation. That could be a way to get a lot of women caught up and not being able to speak if they get the right basketball wives or the right housewives or whatever, you know,
Uh-huh.
or Hollywood exes or whatever the case may be. You
Mm.
want to be on a TV show? Sign this document and shut your mouth. I'm just saying.
Exactly. And then also she couldn't bring her son on the show too. That was part of the stipulation as well. All right, let's get into this again.
It sounded like he really did want to change. And I felt like I owe this to Braylon, because anytime Braylon wanted to try and have a relationship with him, I was open to it. It didn't matter what he had done to me in the past. It was about Braylon. And I just felt like I owed it to him to go. And we went.
And just to let you guys know what she's talking about. When the panty hit, Dwight wanted all his kids and his kids' mom to come move to the compound with him. This is what she's talking about. All right. And so she's saying, like, you know, this is an opportunity for him to be with his dad and things like that. And maybe this is an opportunity for them to be in a better place all together. But when a leopard shows you, a leopard never changed their spots. And when a person show you who they are, believe them. But Royce is very naive, okay?
And my first night there, we had dinner, and they were saying, people were laughing, joking, playing around. And I said, I'm sorry. I said, I don't want to dampen the mood, but what changed? Like, what brought all this on? And I said, because I can't feel comfortable sleeping, here, and I don't hear it from you. And it's like, I've changed, and, I just want to be a better father. I want to be a better person, and all this sounded so great. And we were there for 2 months. And it was a lot of stuff that was going on. It was conversations that were being had with Braylon that I didn't appreciate. When Braylon was with me, I didn't allow him to even listen to the regular radio until he was 10. We were Chuggington, we were Thomas the Train. We with Bill Towers. We went to Monster Jam. He was very young, And I'm saying all this because things get shut down when you have a lot of money. Cases all of a sudden just go away when you have a lot of money. And he's threatened me more than once. And the one thing he said to me that has rung true through all these years is, if I ever left him, that he would make my life a living hell.
Okay? This is what men in the industry do. They use their money to pay off lawyers, judges, everything to control you. Even though you made a choice to leave the relationship because you didn't want to deal with their infidelities and them sleeping around and stuff like that. True narcissist behavior. Once you leave them, they want to ruin you.
And you know what, Nadi, to kind of tie it back together a little bit, on this season of Basketball Wives Orlando, I noticed that Morgan can't even say her baby father's name. They bleep it out. And I don't know if you saw the last episode, but he found out where she lives and served her papers. And she freaked out so bad because she's like, how does this man know where I live? I moved me and my whole family. How does he know where I live? She has to they bleep out his name. She can't say his name. And in the next episode, it looks like she's packing up and moving. So I feel like Basketball Wives might be a little bit of a space to silence women. That's what it's starting to give a little bit.
Yep. Once they
in my
leave,
opinion,
they do everything to make their lives hell. Hold on, this garbage truck is coming.
That's crazy. Anybody watch Basketball Wives Orlando?
Nope. I didn't see the last episode yet. All right, let's continue.
And he has. And when I say all this stuff about me keeping my phone, it has been because I feel like every day I'm looking over my shoulder. I feel like every day, I feel like there's almost even a hit out on me because I am talking now. And I'm not the only one that feels that way.
See, that's a common
quarantine that feel the same way. I was bit by his dog. Yeah.
Your life is in danger?
I do.
Really?
I do. My brother lives with me because I don't feel comfortable living by myself.
Wow.
Wow.
I had my mom and Braylon ride with me here because I didn't know if anybody else knew that I was coming, and yeah.
What happened between you and Dwight to where things are this bad?
I left.
You left, and you left him when?
When I left him after, so Braylon was about 2.5. And that was around the time that I was mentioning the situation with the nanny because my child was just not acting right.
Oh, what
And
situation
I
with
was always a liar. I'm making this up. I confronted her about it one time. She went back and said I threatened her. I said I did not threaten a lady. I promised. And then he came to the house one time and he was coming to pick up Braylon. And I didn't have a bag packed. So he followed me in Braylon's room and he said, pack the bag. And then the second time was in front of his friend. And it was also in front of my goddaughter. And he had I had a Slurpee. So I remember I gone to 7-Eleven and he always wanted orange sodas. So I didn't have an orange soda in the refrigerator. So he got upset about it and he knocked the Slurpee out of my hand in the middle of the house. And that was when I realized, like, I got to get out of this.
Mhm.
Good for you, Royce.
Yes.
I talked about it. I had mentioned it. Never went anywhere. It's any moose with pure
It's commercial. What are your thoughts, ladies? I mean, she was in an abusive situation. And everyone knows when you're in an abusive situation, the most dangerous time is when you want to leave. And Royce has been trying to speak about this for years. She was not believed, which is a common thread with DV and things like that. But I'm glad she got out when she did. I feel her pain. Anybody have any thoughts before I play it?
You can go ahead.
Okay.
I think it was a trick because
She's talking about the injunction.
I had already complained about a lot of stuff. I had already said so much about how he was treating me. And now I'm finna do a show. No, we gotta figure out a way for her to like not be able to say anything.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how that came about.
There's been a lot of stuff going on recently in terms of accusations, right? One of them being you recently got arrested. You pled not guilty to allegations. Is it child endangerment?
Neglect.
Child neglect. Because, and again, it's our mind is involved, so I don't want to get too much in the weeds of it. So I'm not going to really address that part of it. But something's going on with your son, allegedly, by you being the parent. They'd arrested you for child negligence.
Endangerment.
What is going on with that situation?
So it's getting dismissed. I'm going to go, like, it's a program, like I have to do this parenting class online and like some community service, and they're just going to dismiss it because it's unfounded. They don't have anything, right? And it's the same with my ex. But what happened with me was, I want to say it was miscommunication between the attorneys and the state or whatever, because what we thought was Braylon was okay with being around anybody as long as it's suppressed, right? And they ended up saying, oh, no, that's not true. So I got arrested. My ex got arrested. And then now all of this is all over the internet. And it was so much in that document that was not shown. And so I kind of felt like it was purposeful.
To make you look bad.
Yeah. Why now is it just me? Why am I the only one getting fingers pointed? You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So now, even when I walked in today and I was like emotional, it's because he's now trying to act like I'm an unfit parent. And he's talking about filing for custody and like completely stopping child support and all this stuff because, you know, he's like, well, technically he can't have any overnights with you. Braylon is with me almost every day. If he's not in school, he's with me. I don't care if I have to go through rain, sleet, snow. I'm going to be with my child. That's more than I can say for him. Like, he's never there. He's never been there.
And you've always felt like a single mom since you've had him.
Yeah. But
you're somebody who's been private since you left basketball. And you purposely took yourself out of the public eye. You have been focused on your endeavors, cheerleading coach, dance coach, all those things. And this story comes out where we live in a world now where if one blog talks about it, then every single blog picks it up. How were you during that time when you lived pretty much a sheltered life after basketball, only to have this come up again? How was that for you?
It was definitely hard. I had a few panic attacks. I think that was around the time that I ended up getting my license for my medical license because my anxiety pills weren't working, you know? So I was actually having a lot of like panic anxiety attacks. And I was more like hurt for my child than I was for me. You know, as a parent, it's like you want to take all their hurt and put it on you. So I think me trying to like hold him. We're also talking about a day and age where you have a man or a young child whose father is idolized and people know him and they look up to him and he's just sitting there and he wants that person to like love him, you know? So
it's tough.
Yeah, I also had no idea that that's what I was walking into during quarantine, you know? Because even during quarantine, I'm falling for shit. I'm being told all these things. I'm being sold all these dreams. You know what I mean? So we escaped. I say that to everybody. We escaped at like 3:00 in the morning.
Wow.
One morning during quarantine.
Wow. So he's just basically been brutalizing her all these years to keep her silent. And it's just so sad to me. I'm going to try to skip to the end when she talks about Howard's allegations. Hold on.
But what else did she say like in between? If you remember.
There's been accusations of, well, he's currently being sued.
Here it goes.
By a man who's alleging sexual things that was going on between them allegedly, along with a trans person as well. What are your thoughts about all of that? Hey, Raindrops. Yes! Come through. We got...
That's Carlos King interview. His commercial for his merch. Yeah, she's about to get into Howard and his accusations. I love that she's speaking out. I love that she found her voice. And although she may be scared, I feel like Royce is being very, very brave right now. Abuse goes deep. And I do believe something happened with her son, that they're not talking about. Something happened with the nanny. And then I think the allegations was something about him watching P Word, right?
Right. I remember that.
Here we go.
I have spoken to that, to this person, and my advice to them as well was,
okay. So Royce is saying that she spoke to one of the men involved in his current case.
I'm like, this has nothing to do with me. But, they were scared as well. And I'm like, I can't tell you what to do. I can't tell you what not to do. All I can say is live in your truth and do what you feel you need to do to, like, be able to live your life. You know what I mean? That's really all I said. And that was actually a conversation that I had, like, over a year ago. So, I kind of thought it was a dead issue until it was on the internet.
You made a comment that Dwight allegedly asked you to be the matriarch
Yes.
of a polygamy quest.
Oh, this wasn't allegedly. I got the message.
That's not even funny. That is
It's
not
ridiculous.
even...
Polygamy, to be in a relationship with multiple women.
Mm-hmm.
That's something he desired.
Yes.
And has requested of you.
Yes.
And the matriarch of that meeting, the queen bee
yes.
of the other women.
Mm-hmm.
What was that conversation like?
I said no. And I was definitely like, I still want to, like, date and possibly have a child, like, and not from you. I'm like, I don't mind, like, helping you out. And it was an idea of all of us staying on the estate because he was like, I know Tyler Perry. I can get you in movies. I can get you to some auditions with him.
Gaslight.
And I was like, but why me? I'm like, I'm the one that you get into it with the most. He's like, yeah, but it's because, I be knowing that you be right. He's like, you real smart. Messages.
Is this during the quarantine?
This is all during quarantine.
All
yeah.
during quarantine. When you all were living together.
Yes.
So the idea may have became a realization for him, at least, when everybody's under the same
But
roof.
it was only two of us. It would have been three, but Mimi passed. So it was only two of us that were there. But
Mimi was smart.
No, like what he was saying to me until, like, later on, he ended up leaving. But it was all these, like, he tried one time to pretend like he thought he was texting his friend by saying, man, I keep thinking about Royce. I can't get her out my head. Again, I have them in my phone. I keep everything. That's why I don't know why people play with me. But again, when I say we escaped because there was a lot of activity happening that night prior that no children should ever see. And even I felt like I was, like, walking through a Twilight Zone. Like, we got people peeing in seats. We have people hanging off a balcony throwing up. Like, this is a joke to y'all. When he gets angry, it's like his face almost looks like a skeleton. And it's like his teeth, like, are bulging, you know what I'm saying, in his head. And he's just angry. And it's so scary. It's so scary. And I felt like I needed to go.
Good for you.
And I left with Braylon. We packed my car and everything. And I told him I was leaving. But I think he thought I was leaving the next day because he had even told him not to let me out the gate. He'll calm down. But then he did the same shit a couple weeks ago when he just showed up at Braylon's school after Braylon asked him not to because he was trying to have his own identity. Braylon don't play football. He's not even on JV. Why are you showing up to a high school football game when he asked you not to?
They become obsessive.
Yes.
The white posting videos of him hanging out with Braylon, and you made a post about out of 365 days a year, you only do this a handful of times. Don't make this True Thursdays. Are you just tired?
I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gotten to the point now where it's like, I don't want to say I don't care what people think, because that's a lie. I think to a certain extent, everybody cares what people think. But I don't think I give a shit about how people feel. I should tell my truth. Rather than you find it in my phones because I'm now dead somewhere. I'd rather you hear it from me. And what comes of that will come. But one thing that you will never hear me do when it comes to him or my child, my family, my life general, is lie. And he knows that. That's why even me talking about certain things and me saying like, oh, I'll post it. You know, I got the messages. Like when I say I keep everything, I keep everything. The phones that y'all saw weren't even really all the phones that I have. The ones that are very, very important to me, they're not even at my house.
Wow. She got a vault.
Because I think like that.
What is it that you want the world to know about Royce Freed that you feel like they don't know, or they have this misconception of you? Like what? Because when I look at you, you're a strong woman.
Mm-hmm.
You're very strong, and it pains me to hear what you're going through. But it pains me more because I can feel the energy from you. I feel like you're struggling to get through every day because you just don't know what the day is going to be, and you just don't know what's going to happen. And that breaks my heart to know that you have to live your life every day like that.
Charlotte was a normal 7-year-old child.
It does break my heart to hear that she has to live like that. She's still going through it still to this day. And I think the major problem is men in Hollywood, in sports, men of power. They view women as property and not human beings. I don't know, Robin. What are your thoughts? Kim, anybody? If y'all still there.
Still here, was on mute. This is so crazily sounding like a made for TV movie, if you will, probably something on Lifetime. And what I find really interesting at this point is that she's now speaking out and is going against everything that we've heard about their experience, their situationship in the past. And I am so excited, honestly, for this to really come to the forefront and for it to be blasted, that she can now and is now speaking out. And I know that she's really concerned about her safety, but I think that her telling her story is going to insulate her, and it's going to elevate her and her child, and it will further and particularly necessarily demonize that crazy ass Dwight Howard, and hopefully she can live in peace.
Exactly. And I always say the best thing you can do and how you can handle a narcissist, expose them. That's what they're afraid of the most. They don't want to be found out. They don't want to be found out. And I think it's just giving her protection by her speaking out. Because if something happens to her, guess what? Guess where the authority is going to go first?
Well, she told us. That's the thing that is, as I'm listening to this, and again, I am going to now listen to the Carlos King thing, but she has already said that from the giddy up, she feared for her life. From the giddy up, she knew well enough to document her stuff. From the giddy up, she realized that no matter how things have played out at this juncture, she knew how important it was. Just like how, in my opinion, put us on to the story about Maya, the young girl,
Uh-huh.
right? Because Maya's mother said, "Oh, okay, whatever's going on, I'm documenting everything." And it may not make sense to anybody else, but it makes sense to me. It makes sense to my experience. It makes sense to my story. And it's going to make sense to the end to give me and mine retribution.
That's right. That's right. Kim, you have any thoughts before I start this? I think Kim is on mute. All right, it's okay. We'll resume. Here we go.
I do. I'm sorry. I do. I keep promising myself I'm not going to cry over him.
It's okay, Royce.
I think I'm misunderstood. I think I feel trapped in a lot of ways because I feel like no matter how I say it or how I do it, whatever tactic I take, it still comes across like I did it the wrong way.
Poor baby.
People are like, what we supposed to do with this information? People like to say that, or why is this on the internet? Take it to the court. Y'all don't think I've done that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm an ant fighting an elephant.
And that's what it comes down to.
Like, money talks. I had so much money saved, Carlos. I had so much money saved from when I was doing that show. And now I'm like living check to check because I have to pay attorney fees. Because every year he files something, some bullshit, every single year.
That you have to pay to defend.
Yes, because I have to defend. That's what people don't understand either. Like, if they file a motion, you have to answer it. Otherwise, they win by default. Even if it's some bullshit. And that's what I've been going through. Like, every time I think about it, like, I even went through a time where I didn't even put my money in the bank because of what he had done to my mom's account. He garnished my mom's account.
Garnish the mama's account. He ain't ish.
Won that judgment.
This nigga is for real on some crazy shit. And that's one of the things that people who have at least money, power, authority, they will look at who they believe their nemesis to be, and they can just, it means nothing to just bankrupt them, financially bankrupt them, and that's how they exert and exercise their control. I'd love to see him punch him in his neck to start because he's taller than me, but I feel like he's somebody I could fight. Physically.
Exactly. But can you imagine the range of emotion that she had to hold all of these years? You could see in this interview her timidness. You understand?
Yes.
And that's what abuse does. It causes high anxiety. It makes you feel powerless. And it's not enough that he's been torturing her through all these years. He's going to financially bankrupt her too. In my opinion, welcome to the stage.
She on mute for a second.
I think you.
Hey, Nani, how are you?
Good morning, Queen. How are you?
I'm blessed by the best and highly favored.
Blessed by the
Yes, I love it. I love it. What are your thoughts?
Let me tell you something. Yes. Dwight Howard is a coward. He thrives on making people shiver and be in fear. This man is a predator.
Yes.
In the worst way. He's been a predator for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Even when he was playing basketball, he was predator to so many women. And under the guise of an NDA, he hid all his skeletons in the closet.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many women that have been tortured by him that can't speak because they signed an NDA.
These women, I mean,
Everything
this is
from
he's a
everything
dangerous
from them
person.
him busting they behind open.
Mm.
It's the stories that I've heard would make you cry. And I knew Russ one line when she was talking.
I knew it too. I knew it too. And now I think people need to
And the
rally
mere
around
fact
her.
that he surrounded her with people that he knew.
Mm-hmm.
He had that attorney to make her sign that document, making her
Yep.
think it was just something regular schmegular. Oh, this is nothing. We just protecting you. And it was a whole gag order. And the only reason why she can talk now is because he defaulted on the gag order a couple of years ago. Miss me with that.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you get the right
Mm-hmm.
to put somebody on a gag order after you done physically and emotionally abuse them? The nanny that was doing nothing but torturing that baby. And y'all wonder why the baby's acting out. But she couldn't take him to no counselor or nothing because that was in the gag order too.
Speak on it.
It's sad because the one thing we supposed to ever do is protect the children.
Protect the children.
Mm-hmm.
Children are
Mm-hmm.
innocent. They don't deserve this. And how
You
low
didn't ask.
down are you? I can't with him. I mean, I knew he wasn't ish when he was playing. Okay. Y'all count for these doggone basketball players because they play basketball and stuff. Them be the worst predators.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Anybody with
While
power
you
be the
capping
most
for them and
predators, if you
standing
ask
over them, there are women that they destroyed their lives. And
me.
men.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because most of them don't want
Yep.
to let you know that they on the down low. And
See? Yep.
I'm so glad this complaint that this man brought against him, he saved the text messages. Ain't he a blessing?
Yes, he is. Expose it all. Expose them. You know what? And this is a dangerous situation, but it's all too common. And I think, in my opinion, you had a story yesterday about a young lady that went missing
She's still missing. And her husband is
and
locked up
still
for trying
missing.
to assault another family.
Okay, because when they lose control, they want to take everything, including your life.
That's the mission.
And this poor little boy, in between all of this, can't even create his own identity. Because what these narcissists don't realize, when you abuse the mama, it's just as you're still abusing the child. How you treat the mother, that reflects on that child. Oh, I just feel so bad for Royce. Yeah, we up early, Jayla. We talking about the Royce Reed interview with Carlos King. All right, this is almost over, so I'm gonna play the last of this, and then we'll get closing thoughts and close out the show. Here we go.
That's when that lawsuit came out. Remember that $500 million thing? Yeah.
But but it's true. Why was it?
Because again, if I'm even in a room where somebody says his name, he could sue me for it. That's how it's that bad. But now that he's doing all these things, it's like, again, it's null and void. And I think he don't realize that. Right. But like, it really, that's the part that, like, I think breaks me the most, because I was smart with my money. You know what I mean? So when he did that to my mom, it was like, who the fuck are you? Really this evil? You know what I mean? Like, and me and my mom had a joint account that I've had since I was in high school. So there wasn't even anything going in that account for me. You know what I mean?
Got it.
So, but since she was attached to it, they took hers. My mom was a guidance counselor.
He's a dirty dog. I tell you, he's a dirty, dirty, dirty dog. You gonna steal from her mama too? What the mama got to do with anything?
And then every time that she's asked,
He didn't even need the money. He did that as a power struggle. That was some way of holding power over her. He was like, I got you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And he said, you leave me, I'm gonna make your life hell. And that's what he has done through the years. We got to stop glorifying these celebrities that don't deserve it.
And give it back.
I was gonna say they have to give it back.
No. That's why people are like, oh, it can't be him. He got people working for him. It's these people in his ear. I don't give it. No. This is a grown-ass man. I'm tired of people saying, oh, he's just young. He ain't young anymore, people.
Yeah.
The man is almost 40.
Mm-hmm.
This is him. This is who he is. And his parents know it. But, you know, just like every mama is with their child, that's still my baby. But one thing I never...
Did we not talk about the way these mamas coddle these abusers? Did we just not talk about that? With the Keke Palmer situation? They just make excuses instead of getting them the help they need. And you want to know why they coddle them? Because the parents don't want to be exposed for what they expose their children to. Because they learned it from somewhere. They learned the abuse from somewhere.
Or lived it.
It's my child. I'm not that parent. So, again, misunderstood, unheard, and I hate to say this because every time I say it, my friends, my mom, they get so mad at me, but it's my truth. I feel broken.
And there you have it.
And I know
he broke her. And that's where I'm gonna leave it at. I'm gonna let y'all go over and check out the Carlos King interview. There's 2 parts. We went over part 1 last week. But Royce is the result of years of trauma and abuse. And this goes to show abuse comes in all different forms. It's not always physical. The mental will wear you down. It will wear you down. Sometimes the mental and psychological is worse than the actual hit. Because once they get in your head.
Well, Russ had to deal with a lot of different stuff. Okay. She got gaslit from Shawnee on the show. Mm-hmm. It's like the abuse that she suffered from many different men in her life. You know what I'm saying? Even opening up about Shaq, her experience with Shaq. And it's like, and then for him to come out and tweet and say, somebody needs some money. She ain't asked you for no money. Carlos King ain't paying nobody no money. He ain't even paying the people he got working over there at home for no man, stop. Okay, if you think Carlos King is paying, he ain't paying nothing. Okay, he getting money. But that's the thing. We gotta quit letting people get their coins up off our pain. Quit letting people get their money off of your pain.
Mm-hmm.
They profit off of your pain.
Exactly. Well, I'm glad Royce has found her voice, and I want people to hear her. And I believe her. You know, y'all talk about, oh, don't blame the victim. She's been victimized for years. This man is not shit. The White House, and he is just one of many. And we need to stop glorifying people where we really don't even know them.
Listen.
And when people speak out, Because I'm one, this is how I think. Where there's smoke, there's fire. All right.
Naughty.
She's been telling the same story for years.
Yes.
And
And
she
that
finally got a platform. And I know Essence has said she don't like his energy or whatever, but I love that Carlos gave her a platform to speak her truth. All right, ladies, what's your closing thoughts?
I want to say this. You just said a word, but I think that there's a distinction. We have heard Royce for years. Heard. She is now in the listening phase. People are listening and understanding and interpreting what they have heard for years. Hearing is something, there are a lot of noises in the background right now, and you hear them and they don't make any sense necessarily. They're not distinctive or distinguished enough that they make sense or need to be answered to or acted upon, right? Now
Mm-hmm.
people are listening. We've been hearing stuff all along, but now we're actively listening, understanding, and interpreting. And trust and believe it is in my gut. We're gonna see her way on the tippy top in the end. And the end is coming real soon because he has exposed himself. She has always maintained the same posture. Her story ain't never changed. She has personally documented everything that she's gone through, and she and her son are going to prevail because now people stopped hearing her. They're now listening.
Yes, I love it, Robin. In my opinion, what are your closing thoughts? I think you on mute.
Trauma it's a way that trauma affects the brain and the body. We got to be careful when we out here looking at people's story. You don't know what that person has been through or what their trauma is and how deep it runs. I knew
Mm-hmm.
Royce had a story to tell on Basketball Wives.
Mm-hmm.
It was the way she moved. It was everything about her. Told me she was guarded, told me she had something that was bothering her. It was a weight that was on her. And when she broke down and cried at the end of it, I felt like that was her release. It was her body telling her to let it go.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
gotta understand your trauma is your crutch.
Yep.
You gotta get that weight off of you. Because the longer it stays in the body, it affects everything. It affects your mental, it affects your physical health, it affects the way you show up in the world. Take care of yourself, people. If you're dealing with some past trauma, get help now. It's not too late.
I.e., Krishan Rock.
Oh,
She needs to
Krishan needs some
disconnect
serious. She need
and
mental.
go to
She need
therapy.
mental and psychological help. I need her to go to the next therapist. She fine, okay. Even the bad one can help her a little bit. I mean, even the
Mm,
ranky dinky one can help her. Krishan Rock need to run to the nearest. I mean, the nearest psychotherapist she can find. Okay,
exactly.
because her whole family is messed up, and I contribute that to the way she was raised. I really do,
Hmm.
because I saw these doggone mamas. Her and Blueface didn't have a fighting chance in this world. They mamas is so ratchet, it is not even funny. Okay, and the sister that
Exactly.
just got out of jail, that's up here talking about she finna put hands on people. Girl, don't you know that's a threat and it's against the law to threaten people while you on social media telling people you gonna put hands on Tamar Braxton?
Okay, but they
Damn.
so bold with it. They think they so big and bad that they so vocal and they do it out in public on live. Like there's no consequences. Like you didn't just get out of prison. Like your sister is not heading to prison. You
And
know what I
at
mean?
40
Like
something years old, I'm like, dang, you would think you got it now. And you just got out of prison, so you ain't learned nothing.
you ain't learned nothing. All right, ladies, I appreciate y'all joining my panel. Make sure y'all go over to In My Opinion and subscribe. Go to The Essence Aesthetics and subscribe. Go to Kim Delivers and subscribe. These are all great content creators, as you all heard. And Robin, she is a great supporter. She's always around supporting all the content creators. I appreciate you ladies joining me today. I felt like it was a good conversation, a conversation that needed to be had.
Indeed. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Blessings.
Now, man, you're
Take
gonna
care.
have to do one on trauma.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you hit me up in my DM. We could set up a date.
Okay.
All right. I'm more than happy to do a show with you. Mhm.
Have a
Thank you,
good day.
ladies. You too. All right, guys, there you have it. All right, we had a lot of great conversation. Let's continue the conversation in the comments. Please remember to hit that like, subscribe, and that bell button, and share my content on your different social media platforms and support the channel. Okay, all these things help the channel to grow. And to all my haters out
And I
there,
wanna say thank you in case I don't thank you enough.
I embrace y'all too. You know, y'all keep the wheels turning over here. Well, you guys, it's time for me to go ahead and log into the plantation. I appreciate all your thoughts. I appreciate all the love. Shout out to my subs, my moderators, my new subs, and my subs to come. We are grown. We almost to 2K. Help us get there. Until next time, Naughty Crew, I'm out. One.